To discuss more of this, let's welcome in host of We've Got a Country to Save podcast and author of As Goes California, My Mission to Rescue the Golden State and Save the Nation. Larry Elder joins me now. Larry, great to have you with us today. Thanks for stopping by. Kamala Harris obviously starting to appeal more to minority voters, blacks, Hispanics, than what we saw for a president and candidate Biden. Is this something that the Trump campaign should be concerned about?
Well, as mentioned, Trump got 12% of the black vote in 2020, but that was up 50% from what he got in 2016 when he got 8%. And in 2020, about 20% of black men voted for Trump. The trend is going in the right direction if you're Trump, and that's what I fear that these journalists are afraid of. They're afraid that, God forbid, President Trump should come there and talk about his support, for example, for school choice. 85% of black eighth graders, I kid you not, can neither read nor do math at grade level, yet the Democratic Party opposes school choice as a party elite, whether it's Joe Biden or Kamala Harris or Obama have their own kids in private school. God forbid that Donald Trump should talk about the First Step Act, which allowed some 5,000 mostly black men to have their long prison sentences reconsidered and reduced an average of 70 months. God forbid Donald Trump should talk about secure borders. There was a study done by the Civil Rights Commission a few years ago, Jen, that found 1 million fewer blacks are working than would otherwise be the case but for the presence of illegal alien labor. So these are the kinds of things I believe that some of these journalists don't want Donald Trump to say for fear that he will garner more black support. If the president is a racist, if he's a white supremacist, for crying out loud, put him up there, grill him, talk to him about these kinds of things. You're a journalist, ask tough questions and get his answers.
Yeah, Larry, I don't know about your thoughts, but it seems to me that not a lot has changed since, even the Trump administration in terms of how the Washington Post covered him. And now you see this. And it makes me wonder if this is going to be more of the same as we get closer to the election, go into a potential Trump administration where we're not getting the correct information out there, a lot of misinformation, a lot of covering for the Democrats.
Well, that's right. For example, probably the number one reason that black people give you for disliking Donald Trump is his alleged comment about Charlottesville, where he supposedly said there were good and bad Nazis and white nationalists on both sides, when in fact he was talking about that there are good and bad people on both sides of the debate about whether there should be a Confederate monument in the public square. These are just flat out lies. And if Donald Trump is a white supremacist, riddle me this. The city of over 100,000 people that most voted for Donald Trump is Abilene, Texas. Shortly after they voted for him at around 80 or 85%, guess which city of 140 years voted for their first black mayor? Abilene, Texas. Trump got a smaller percentage of the white vote than Mitt Romney did 4 years earlier. So it is a flat out lie. And I believe that if Donald Trump comes there and says some of these kinds of things, he may turn some heads. And I believe that these black journalists do not want that.
Larry, I only got about 30 seconds left, but you look at Kamala Harris's record in California. I mean, you wrote a book on the decline of your state. Should voters be considering the record of crime, lawlessness in your state when they look at Kamala Harris as a potential president?
Absolutely. This is a woman who said we ought to reimagine the police, whatever that means. There was a poll that found the percentage of blacks who wanted the police force to stay the same or to be increased was the same as whites. The people that are most hurt by crime are people living in the inner city. These are the black and brown people that Democrats purport to care about.
All right, Larry Elder, always a pleasure to see you. Thank you for stopping by today.
Thank you, Jen. Appreciate it.